Title: 7 UK shampoo brands you must avoid. A bottle sitting on your dresser right now is linked to a hormonal disruption, and you have no idea it's there. While you've been trusting these billion-pound brands to nourish your hair, they've been using your scalp as an absorption site for endocrine-disrupting chemicals, substances that interfere with your body's hormone systems. But here's what makes this a scandal. British consumers received nothing in warnings, while Americans got clear labeling requirements for using the exact same products. Your hair oil, your harm, their profit. So which brands are poisoning Britain's bathrooms? Let's start with the worst offender. Number 1, Vatika Enriched Coconut Hair Oil. Vatika Enriched Coconut Hair Oil dominates the ethnic hair care market across Britain. Walk into any Tesco, Aussie, or Superdrug, Vatika sits prominently on shelves promising natural nourishment with coconut, henna, and lemon, traditional ingredients your grandmother might have used. Under £4 for 300 ml, trusted by millions of South Asian households for generations. Sounds perfectly safe when you're looking for natural hair care, right? Here's what they didn't tell you. Vatika contains mineral oil as its primary ingredient, not coconut oil despite the massive coconut imagery covering every bottle. Mineral oil, a petroleum byproduct, the same base used in industrial lubricants. Refined mineral oil creates an occlusive barrier on your scalp that prevents your skin from breathing normally. It clogs follicles systematically, trapping sebum, dead skin cells, and bacteria beneath an impermeable petroleum layer. Research from the International Journal of Cosmetic Science confirms mineral oil penetrates hair shafts through damaged cuticles, creating protein loss over time. The molecular weight is too large for proper absorption, so it just sits there, suffocating your scalp. Dermatologists at St. Thomas Hospital documented cases of folliculitis, scalp acne, and contact dermatitis directly linked to prolonged mineral oil exposure. Patients presented with inflamed hair follicles, pustular breakouts across the scalp, and painful cystic formations requiring antibiotic treatment. British women reported greasy buildup that wouldn't wash out, constant itching and scratching, bacterial infections requiring medical intervention, and hair that looked worse after months of use than before they started. Now here's where the deception becomes deliberate. Dabur, the company behind Vatika, markets this as enriched coconut hair oil. Turn the bottle around. Read the actual ingredients. Mineral oil appears first, meaning it comprises the majority of the formula. The coconut oil, henna, and lemon that justify the product name appear in trace amounts near the end of the ingredient list. Window dressing for marketing claims. You bought it thinking you were getting traditional Ayurvedic nourishment. What you actually got was petroleum jelly with fragrance and a photograph of a coconut. The traditional positioning is pure marketing fiction. Indian consumers filed complaints with the Advertising Standards Council of India in 2019 for misleading natural oil claims. Dabur was forced to clarify their formulations in India. British bottles still carry the exact same deceptive labeling because in Britain, there are no consequences.
Number 2. Pantene Pro V Hair Oil. Pantene Pro V Hair Oil promises to repair damage with every drop. The Pro V formula, visible results, trusted by millions. Procter & Gamble's flagship treatment product. Costs around £6 for 100 milliliters at Boots and Superdrug. The sleek bottle suggests premium care. The marketing promises transformation. Here's what they don't tell you in those glossy advertisements. Pantene hair oil contains dimethicone as its second ingredient. Dimethicone is a synthetic silicone, not oil at all. It's a plastic polymer that coats your hair in a water-resistant film. For the first week, your hair feels absolutely incredible. Smooth, shiny, manageable. You think you've discovered the holy grail of hair care. You recommend it to everyone. Then the problems begin. Dimethicone doesn't nourish anything. It can't penetrate hair shafts. It just accumulates on the surface, layer after layer, application after application. Within 4 to 6 weeks, your hair refuses to absorb actual moisture. It repels water-based treatments completely. You've created a plastic coating so thick that nothing beneficial can get through anymore. Mumsnet users described the reality. One wrote, "My hair became like plastic, completely unmanageable." Another reported, "Massive buildup at my roots that looked like dandruff but was actually product residue." A third said, "I had to use clarifying shampoo 3 times just to strip it all off, and my hair was damaged from the stripping process." Here's what's happening chemically. The dimethicone coating prevents natural sebum from traveling down your hair shaft. Your ends become brittle and dry while your roots stay greasy. You're applying more oil to combat the dryness, which creates more silicone buildup, which blocks more moisture, which makes you apply more product. It's a perfect dependency cycle. Research from the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology confirms silicone buildup on hair requires harsh sulfate shampoos to remove. So now you're trapped using aggressive cleansers that damage your hair, necessitating more oil application, creating more buildup, requiring harsher washing. You're paying £6 per bottle to systematically destroy your hair's natural moisture balance. Number 3, coconut oil. Virgin, extra virgin, organic. Wait, coconut oil is natural. It's been used for centuries in tropical regions. Every wellness influencer swears by it. You bought the organic virgin cold-pressed variety from Holland and Barrett for £12. Pure, natural, healthy. How could this possibly be harmful? Here's what the wellness industry doesn't want you to know. Coconut oil has a comedogenic rating of 4 out of 5. That's dermatology speak for pore clogging nightmare. The molecular structure of coconut oil is too large to penetrate most hair types effectively. It sits on top of your hair shaft and scalp, creating an occlusive barrier similar to mineral oil. A study published in the International Journal of Trichology tested coconut oil on various hair types. The results were damning. On fine or low porosity hair, coconut oil prevented moisture absorption entirely. On scalps prone to seborrheic dermatitis or fungal conditions, coconut oil fed the Malassezia yeast that causes dandruff, making the condition significantly worse. British dermatologists report seeing increasing cases of coconut oil-related scalp conditions. Dr. Sharon Wong at London Bridge Hospital documented patients presenting with severe scalp buildup, fungal overgrowth, contact dermatitis from oxidized coconut oil, and protein overload causing brittle, breaking hair. Here's the mechanism nobody talks about. Coconut oil contains high levels of lauric acid. Lauric acid can bind to hair proteins and prevent other beneficial ingredients from penetrating. If you have protein-sensitive hair, coconut oil actually causes more damage than benefit. Your hair becomes stiff, straw-like, prone to breakage. You think you need more moisture, so you apply more coconut oil, which blocks more moisture, which makes your hair drier, which makes you apply more oil. For anyone with fine hair, aging hair, or scalp conditions, coconut oil is particularly brutal. Your already compromised hair barrier can't handle the heavy molecular weight. The occlusive coating prevents your scalp from regulating temperature and moisture naturally. Reddit forums are filled with coconut oil horror stories. Users described hair snapping off in chunks, scalp infections requiring antifungal medication, and months of recovery time after discontinuing use. You paid a premium for organic purity. What you got was a heavy, pore-clogging oil that interferes with your hair's natural moisture balance. Natural doesn't mean safe. Arsenic is natural. Poison ivy is natural. Context matters. Number 4, Moroccan oil treatment. Moroccan oil builds an empire on the promise of liquid gold from Morocco. The signature blue bottle costs £28 for 100 ml at salons, department stores, and look fantastic. Argan oil from Morocco, ancient beauty secrets, transformation in a bottle. Celebrities endorse it, hairstylists recommend it. It must be worth the premium price, right? Turn the bottle around. Read the actual ingredients. Cyclopentasiloxane appears first. That's not argan oil.
That's volatile silicone. Dimethicone appears second, more silicone. The actual argan oil that justifies the product name and the 28-pound price tag appears fourth on the ingredient list. You're paying for Moroccan imagery while buying a silicone serum with fragrance. Here's the chemical reality. Cyclopentasiloxane is classified as a volatile organic compound. It evaporates quickly, leaving behind dimethicone coating. The European Chemicals Agency investigated cyclopentasiloxane for potential endocrine disruption and environmental persistence. Studies suggest it accumulates in aquatic environments and may interfere with reproductive hormones. The British Dermatologists report published research linking prolonged silicone exposure to scalp irritation in sensitive individuals. Symptoms include persistent itching, redness around the hairline, and allergic contact dermatitis requiring steroid treatment. You're not receiving ancient Moroccan wisdom. You're receiving synthetic polymers wrapped in exotic marketing.
Beauty industry whistleblowers confirmed the truth. Moroccan oil contains approximately 10 to 15% actual argan oil. The rest is fillers, silicones, and fragrance. You could buy pure organic argan oil for £8 per 100 milliliters and achieve better results. But pure argan oil doesn't have the same luxury positioning or celebrity endorsements. Salon professionals admit the truth privately. One hairstylist with 15 years' experience explained, "We recommend Moroccan oil because we get commission. It's expensive enough that clients think it's premium. But honestly, pure jojoba oil works better for most hair types and costs a fraction of the price." The Moroccan positioning is geographic marketing fiction. Yes, argan trees grow in Morocco, but the argan oil in your 28-pound bottle was likely extracted in industrial facilities, refined using chemical processes, then diluted with cheap silicones to maximize profit margins. You paid for Morocco. You got silicone with an exotic brand story. Number 5. Dabur Almond Hair Oil. Dabur almond hair oil sits next to Vatika on ethnic hair care shelves across Britain. Under £4 for 300 milliliters at most supermarkets. The bottle shows beautiful almonds. The label promises almond nourishment for strong, healthy hair. Trusted brand, affordable price, natural ingredients. Perfect for budget-conscious families, right? Here's the reality check. Flip the bottle over. Mineral oil appears first again, not almond oil, the same petroleum derivative that dominated Vatica's formula. The actual almond oil content is so minimal, it barely registers on the ingredient list. You bought it for almond benefits. What you received was petroleum with almond fragrance. But the deception goes deeper. Dabur almond hair oil contains synthetic fragrance compounds that become increasingly allergenic with oxidation and heat exposure. Storing this bottle in your bathroom where temperature and humidity fluctuate accelerates the oxidation process. The fragrance compounds break down into sensitizing chemicals. The British Association of Dermatologists reports increasing cases of fragrance allergies presenting as scalp dermatitis, facial rashes along the hairline, and respiratory irritation from fragrance volatiles during application. Fragrance mixtures can contain over 200 individual chemicals, none of which require specific disclosure under UK labeling laws. That word, parfum or fragrance, legally hides a complete chemical mystery. Users on Asian beauty forums described their experiences. One wrote, "Constant headaches whenever I applied it. Thought it was stress until I stopped using the oil and the headaches disappeared." Another reported, "My scalp developed red patches that itched constantly." Dermatologists identified contact dermatitis from fragrance compounds. Number 6. OGX Extra Strength Argan Oil of Morocco. OGX argan oil costs around £8 for 100 milliliters at Boots, Superdrug, and supermarkets across Britain. The purple bottle stands out on shelves. The marketing promises exotic nourishment. Sulfate-free, paraben-free, the label screams. Must be safe, right? Here's what those absence claims cleverly distract you from noticing. OGX contains ethyl hexylmethoxycinnamate,
a UV filter that functions as a potential endocrine disruptor. Studies published in Environmental Health Perspectives link this chemical to hormonal interference, particularly affecting thyroid function and reproductive hormones. The National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences tested various UV filters commonly used in cosmetics. Ethyl hexyl methoxycinnamate demonstrated estrogenic activity in laboratory studies, meaning it can mimic estrogen in your body. You apply this to your scalp. Your scalp is highly vascular. The chemicals absorb directly into your bloodstream. For women experiencing perimenopause or menopause, introducing additional endocrine disruptors into your system is particularly dangerous. Your hormones are already fluctuating dramatically. The last thing you need is synthetic chemicals interfering with your endocrine system. Yet here you are, applying it directly to one of the most absorptive areas of your body, thinking you're nourishing your hair. OGX also contains fragrance, but the scandal gets worse. Johnson & Johnson faced thousands of lawsuits in America regarding talc-based baby powder containing asbestos. The company knew about contamination for decades. They paid out billions in settlements. They filed for bankruptcy protection to shield assets from liability. Yet, British consumers continue trusting the Johnson & Johnson name for baby products, including baby oil, with no awareness of the company's history of concealing product dangers. The mineral oil in baby oil creates the same follicle-clogging, moisture-blocking problems as every other mineral oil-based product. But because it's marketed for babies, consumers assume additional safety testing and gentler formulations. False. It's cheap mineral oil with cheap fragrance packaged with imagery of infants to exploit parental trust. Hair care forums are filled with warnings. One user wrote, "Used baby oil as a hair treatment for years. My scalp was constantly itchy and my hair looked greasy no matter how much I washed. Stopped using it and everything cleared up within 2 weeks." Another reported, "Developed seborrheic dermatitis. Dermatologists specifically asked if I used baby oil or mineral oil products. Apparently, it feeds the fungus." You chose baby oil thinking it was the gentlest, safest option. What you got was petroleum in a bottle with nostalgic marketing and zero actual hair benefits. Why the scandal exists? Britain's cosmetic regulations are weaker than you think. The UK followed EU cosmetic regulations until Brexit. Post-Brexit, Britain maintains similar standards on paper, but enforcement has deteriorated dramatically. Trading standards budgets have been cut by 40% since 2010. Officers conduct virtually zero proactive testing of cosmetic products. They rely entirely on consumer complaints. Most people never connect their scalp problems to their hair oil. They think it's age, hormones, stress, diet. They never file complaints, so regulators take no action. The reactive system allows harmful products to remain on shelves indefinitely. The UK lacks robust class action mechanisms for consumer products. Group litigation orders exist, but are rarely used for cosmetics. Individual consumers bear all costs and risks of proving harm. For a 4-pound hair oil purchase, legal action is economically absurd. You're completely on your own. Meanwhile, American consumers who used identical products received millions in settlements. British users, zero compensation, zero lawsuits, zero accountability. Companies know they can sell lower quality formulations in Britain with zero consequences. They've been doing it for decades. What actually works? If you're looking for safe, effective hair oil that won't poison your scalp, here's what dermatologists and trichologists actually recommend. Porador Organic Argan Oil cost £12 for 120 ml on Amazon and in health stores. Here's what that £12 actually buys you. 100% organic argan oil, cold pressed to preserve nutrients. USDA certified organic, nothing else added. No silicones, no mineral oil, no fragrance, no fillers. Pure argan oil that actually penetrates hair shafts, provides vitamin E and essential fatty acids, and nourishes without clogging follicles. Now, if you're dealing with specific scalp conditions or age-related hair thinning, Philip Kingsley's Elasticizer represents 60 years of trichological expertise. Yes, it costs 38 pounds for 150 ml at Boots, Look Fantastic, and John Lewis. But here's why it's worth every single pound. This isn't just safe hair oil. This is actual pre-shampoo treatment specifically formulated for aging, damaged, or processed hair. Developed by trichologists, tested in clinical studies, proven effective for improving hair elasticity and reducing breakage. The formula contains castor oil, olive oil, and glycerin in specific ratios that hydrate without clogging. It addresses the root cause of hair fragility rather than just coating damage with silicones. 38 pounds per bottle, lasting 2 to 3 months, breaks down to 13 to 19 pounds monthly. You're already spending 10 to 20 pounds monthly on hair oils that actively damage your hair. Redirect that spending to products developed by actual trichologists, backed by clinical studies, using your scalp as a healthy growth environment, not a dumping ground for petroleum derivatives. If you're on the tightest possible budget, pure jojoba oil costs around 7 pounds for 100 ml at Holland & Barrett, health stores, and online. Jojoba oil is technically a liquid wax that closely mimics human sebum. It has a comedogenic rating of 2, meaning it's unlikely to clog pores. It's suitable for all hair types, absorbs readily without heavy buildup, provides moisture without greasiness, and lasts months because you need only a few drops per application. Sometimes the safe choice costs exactly the same as the dangerous one. You just need to know which bottle to pick up. Which brand shocked you the most? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you want to watch a video like this one, click the video on the screen. Thanks for watching.